Chapter 18. AI told me to build this. Hello, what a fine day it is today, and a good day for a new adventure. If you look around, there are a few changes that have been made. Well, that was last week's job. Yes, I know there was no chapter last week. That is because after writing last week's chapter, I was not satisfied, and it made me ponder. After pondering, I got a new perspective. More on that later. For now, I have a fresh idea, and I wish to explore the idea to see if it will work. Hello, Archer! I would like to build something new, but I'm looking for a fresh idea and also perhaps an image to go with the idea. Yes, Leaf, that sounds like a fine plan, but I'm not the one to talk to. You need to talk to Ichabod. He's the one with strange ideas and has a talent for drawing. So off I go and find Ichabod. When I find him, I greet him. Hello, Ichabod. How are you today? He greets me as well, but in a rougher tone than I was expecting. Hi, Leaf. What do you want with me? I apologize because I fear that I've wronged him somehow in the past. Sorry to disturb you, but I heard that you know how to draw. His response is not what I was expecting. He said, I don't know how to draw. That is another Ichabod. I don't know why he chose the exact same name as me, but it got confusing, so in the town we just call him AI. You should do the same, and you won't get us confused anymore. Once again, I apologize. Sorry for the confusion. I will do so. Sorry for disturbing you. If there's anything you need or want to talk about, I'm willing to help. He didn't need any help with anything, so we exchanged some other pleasantries and we said goodbye. After that, I went to find AI. I found AI and I was surprised to find out that he was a child. I greeted him. Hi, AI. How are you today on this fine day? AI responded with, Hi, Leaf. It's been a wonderful day and I am keen to explore what awaits for me to find out in the village this fine day. Well, I was wondering if you were able to draw pictures. AI said, Yes, I can. Then I said, I'm looking for a fresh adventure, something new out of the ordinary to build. Are you able to help me with this? AI looked all excited and said, Sure. How about building a lighthouse on a rocky cliff overlooking the ocean? You can design a tall cylindrical building with a bright light on the top, surrounded by smaller buildings like a keeper's lighthouse or storage shed. Add detail like a winding staircase inside the tower, a balcony with railings, and a rocky path leading up to the lighthouse. You can also include some elements like seagulls perched on rocks, crashing waves below, and maybe even a small boat docked nearby. This build can be a striking focal point in this world and offer a scenic view of the surrounding landscape. I said to him, Whoa, that is some thought out picture. Are you by any chance able to draw me that picture of this grand idea? He agreed, and we said our goodbyes, and I went to clean up after the last building section that I just did. The last bit of building that I did was fun. What I wanted to do was learn how the autocrafter went. So I wanted to build a building for it, and the idea I had was to make lush stalks flow into another building. Once I found the area for it, I realized that I needed more room for the building, so I cleaned up around the edge of the hill that runs into the tree farm. I cleaned it up by making the edge go towards a cliff, then circle in, and under the cliff is a cove. That is where I put the path. I needed mud blocks for this path, so I made a mud farm. That's what this building here is for. It's for the processing of mud blocks. Once that was done, I wanted to make it look more nature focused on top of the cliff. So I spruced up the place, added a fallen tree. Then I got to building the processing factory. This took a large portion of my week, mainly trying to figure out how the auto crafters work. But it's all done now and the factory is looking fine. After that addition to the village, I'm excited to start a new project. And the project that AI told me about, I am excited to start. I went to see him later on and he passed on the picture to me. this is what it looks like. So, without further delay, we can find the spot where to place it. I think I know where the exact spot is that will work. The same spot where I fought the Wither and died like 1,000 times. One of these islands, I will build it up to look like the picture island that I was given. On the picture, AI included shadows on different sides due to shade. This is due to the light. I will attempt to do the same, but do it not with light because of the sun, but with block shadows. I will have darker blocks on one side and lighter blocks on the other side to mimic shade. As we build the island, I will tell you what I pondered after writing last week's adventure. After writing last week's adventure, which would be this chapter, I was not happy with the story. It was long-winded and boring, and I'm ready to share my adventures for 2 reasons. One of those is to share with what I'm doing to keep the ideas fresh and flowing. The other reason is to get better at writing and storytelling. I only just started writing and telling stories, and I've been happy with most of my writing, but there are some days that I feel like I'm just pushing out a story because I have to. Yes, I want to make a story every week, but I prefer to polish off nicely before I share it. So what I'm going to try to do is every adventure that I'm going to have, I will share when the adventure is completely finished. This will also give me time to polish off the projects as well, because then I'm not time pressured. But on top of that, so that each week progress goes smoothly and everyone knows what I'm doing, I will do a short explanation of what I did each week. These will be shorts, not chapters, because the chapters I will put out when the final product is finished. Also, maybe sharing some other ideas or stories that I have. They won't be chapter related to adventures, they'll just be out of the blue, random title stories. I hope that all makes sense, and I look forward to finishing up this project. Now that the island is done, I can start on the shading of the project. This would be a tedious and long, so let's... Nice! And that's looking a lot better with the shading and all the green around the island. What a fantastic looking island. So my attempt at shading turned out pretty good. It was a risk, and I took it to experiment with. But I'm happy that I took the risk. So to note to myself, any future shades that I might do, I should try to make sure that it's on the north and west side of the builds. Now I'm excited to see what the lighthouse might look like. The plan is to use calcite and maybe mushroom stems. Let's head to the bridge to see if those 2 blocks work together. Okay, I managed to chop a bit of mushroom stems. Let's do a bit of a test. The mushroom stems are just barely darker than calcite, so that will work for the shade. To not have too harsh of a transition, I can mix in some diorite, and this will make it smoother between the 2 blocks. Since I'm happy with that, I have a big job ahead, chopping 10 to 15 stacks of mushroom stems. That took forever. We are ready to build this tower. So, up we go. Yes, it is just straight for now. The texturing will come in later. Also, I want to try and stagger the heights of the different steps so that it feels like the angle is more gradual. The texturing can start now, and the staggering of the lighthouse. Then will come either the house on the side or the interior of the lighthouse. Let's just keep building and see what awaits. As I was building, I was wondering what to do with this place once I'm done building it, and then a thought came to me. The thought was about a pig farmer. He initially wanted to move so that he could be with his pigs by the water all alone. What if I offer him a big house and a lighthouse that he can climb and have good views? Also, he can be alone with his pigs. This will then free up the area that I will eventually need to build in. I think I will ask him next time I go to town. It looks like I will need to go there soon to put a roof on top of these buildings, as I need some red wood. It is looking fantastic. The house and the lighthouse, though it's not done yet. Let's go get some red wood from the mangrove tree. Also ask the farmer what he thinks about moving. This is my way of getting mangrove logs. I go to the top, chop in the middle, and get all the wood that I see. Once at the bottom, I burn the tree away. Still my favorite way of chopping mangroves, as they're the most confusing tree to chop. Before we head back, just need to ask the farmer what he thinks about moving. He likes the idea, but wanted to think about it for a bit of time. Let's finish off the whole project, including the top of the lighthouse and the interior. While I do that, one benefit of telling a story this way already paid off. What I was able to do was put in some extra effort on other projects that I didn't finish. One such project was a froglight farm. I was able to collect some powdered snow and also get more frogs in the froglight farm. So now the froglight farm is more polished off and I can get froglights all the more quicker. Before I tour around the island and the lighthouse, let's check on the farmer and hope he has made a decision. You can probably guess the decision the farmer has made because we're off touring the countryside in these boats going to the lighthouse. I don't boat enough. It's a pleasant experience and being able to tow my friends around is such a nice bonus. I know you're waiting for a tour, so let's go to the lighthouse and see the final product and then finally compare it to the picture that AI gave us and see if we pulled off what he had envisioned. On the picture, it looks like a pathway starts here, so I use that as a starting point of the pathway to the top of the island, and circling around, there's a cliff on all sides as we finally reach the top with 3 different layers, one for the lighthouse, one for the residence, and the last is just a grassy knoll. Before we go inside, we have the patio, and entering the house is a kitchen, sitting area, and some other shelves and decorations. To get upstairs, you need to go into the lighthouse and head up to the second layer. Then you can enter the upstairs where there is a gathering area. There are many layers of the lighthouse ready for the farmer to fill in as he needs to. Then finally we have the top of the lighthouse where we can sit and watch the sunrise or the sunset. With the sun setting, that is where we leave it for now. I will see you next chapter and hope you have a good one in the meantime. Take care, have a good one, and goodbye.